Salam, Shalom, Sat Sri Akal, good evening, Namaste, every kind of greeting that we humans pay to each other. In fact, I was not making this video again as I made a video last night. But when I saw that almost 200 people watched that video, half or complete, I thought that before dying, I should. I'm not going to die tomorrow. I'm not scared. But before dying, I should just make something clear. My first audience is Pakistani audience. I'm speaking as a Pakistani, not against the establishment or the government or something else. But at a broader level, I want to make my worldwide friends clear about what happens to the countries like Pakistan, though it's not all bad, but how? I've been thinking about different patterns, how to do it. Then I tried to just look around that where is Pakistan? I could not find it, to be honest. Then I found that the best specimen to explain Pakistan is no one else than me. If I tell about myself, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you my story that is not that good. You will understand the very fabric of Pakistan. When I was a child, I was a beautiful child. I showed you in pictures if you don't believe. And I am still called the big mind of my family. I mean, my eldest sisters, whose daughter are elder to me even, who are in different countries of the world and who are in America, London, and here in Pakistan, on very big ranks and big positions, my brothers, sisters. I just, I'm not ashamed of it because they're my very family. They just pay everything for me and they just keep me free from taking anything from government or anyone else. My eldest sisters, once there was a discussion that this one of my family brother or sister, this one of my niece has got that degree from that country and these degrees are these. She said, is rainfall outside? She said that, but the only educated person is my brother, youngest brother, Ali Arif. Go into his room, go into his library. What has happened to that? I'm good looking also. I'm a young person. What happened to that most intelligent person who just always is reading books? And now let's just start this story. Don't get bored because you are not listening to my story. You are listening to the story of the South Asia, almost all the world, different countries. I was just watching a documentary about El Salvador just half an hour ago, and thankfully Pakistan is far better than El Salvador because there is a civil war going over there. There are prisoners, and I was just watching it, but Pakistan is no more in better condition. Now, let's start it. Please don't get bored. We have been doing jokes. Take me as a big joke of Almighty God, or whatever you call him, Bhagwan, what creator, architect, whatever you call him. Now, first of all, what I just came into grips with was the question of language. My father was not a great man because he was my father. He was really a great man. Everyone acknowledges it. He was a very gentle person, no scandal after him. He just taught me with, I mean, he was very hopeful of me that my son, there's some genius, some Einstein is born in my home because he was a teacher. No, he just because he was a classical person of the old times, he died in the age of 103. I mean, after crossing the century and 3 years. But his face was without a wrinkle. He worked with those own hands, he walked, and he was more active than me than today. Now, he thought that Urdu is the thing which I just teach my son. I'm a Saraiki. Listen to my story of language first of all. Please, please, please. I am a Saraiki. Saraiki is a great language and almost spoken by as many people speak Punjabi. Let me tell you, the area you call Punjab belongs to the two languages, Saraiki and Punjabi. Who was my first oppressor? The oppressed Punjabis. Punjabis are rightly oppressed. They say that they bifurcated us during the partition in 1947. Punjab was bifurcated, destroyed. Yes. But in order to keep their population great, they count as Saraikis into Punjabis. Let me tell you, Abul Fazl, during the great Akbar's Raj, Abul Fazl, he was a great minister, wrote that Saraiki is spoken in the Punjab. It was in Multan. It is called Multani also. My dost Mohinder Banga belongs to this area. After the bloody partition, he had to go there. His ancestors, if he was not born that time. We both are Saraikis. Now, first of all, in Punjabi was imposed on us. I'm not against Punjabis. All the Punjabis, all the Sikhs, I love Sikhs and all the Punjabis. But they came to our areas. We Saraikis are not that much educated, and Sardars, who were the, who were the pawns of English empire, they ruled us and they disenfranchised us. So the Punjabis came, and they were the Thanedars in the police chiefs, they were the officers. When they, tortured us in thanas, they would say, Lamba Pawenu. So we started to speak Punjabi. Whenever we wanted to beat someone, we say, Lamba Pawenu, Maro Panchodnu. So then there was Punjabi film industry. My friend, one of my friends, he was a poor fellow. I won't name him. He was working in a mill, Alhamd mill, here in my area, Saraiki area. They founded mills over here because it was a tax-free zone, because Saraikis were very, just deprived and dilapidated. But he told us that when you come to meet me to the mill, speak Punjabi and ask, Shabir kithe ve? Shabir kitha hai na puchha hai. Saraiki ch na laye. So, we were so pressed that we had to speak forcibly Punjabi over there. There are some, the alphabet. Every language has alphabets. Saraiki has alphabets. It will be interesting for you. Zaraya was surprised at it. She said that, how you speak Hebrew so easily? The light has gone over in Pakistan, and I just will switch on some bulb which works with Ah, here is the bulb with the generator or UPS, whatever you call it. So, I'm sorry to cut into all this process. Now, there are sounds in Seraiki, Baba. If you ask a Punjabi, or if you ask to an Englishman or an Urdu man, say Baba. They will say Baba, Gaga, Gaga, they will say. Jaja, they will say Jaja. There are many, many sounds in this language. Yeah. Another language here in our area equals it. It is Sindhi. Sindhis are our real brothers as far as language is concerned. So my father taught me Urdu. I started from the very classics of Urdu, from the books of Fort William College and Araish Mehfil, Tota, Kahani and Tilis Mein Hosh Ruba, and then I came to other books. I read poetry of all the Asatiza teachers, Ghalib, Mir, everyone, Faiz, Iqbal. Then I was poet by temperament, and I got a master in poetry, something very, very blessing like from God. I wrote such strange Urdu poetry that people just recognized it. I will appreciate Zahoor Ahmad Saab from Lahore, who came to my home and collected my papers and published my books. And when I went to college, every book was in English. I was not that good in English. I was all surprised that whatever Urdu is our national language, and what have they done with it? Then I just started to learn English. And after it, they said that Islamic is your religious language. I went to Mass almost a dozen of times to learn it, but I came back because I had no clue of Arabic in my mind. So at the moment, if someone asks me, what is your language? I will say, is my tongue. Is my tongue. I don't know what is my tongue, but my mother tongue is Seraiki. I have no specific love for any language, but this was the plight of language. Second problem was sex. I had an erection when I was 4 years old. Today, I almost going to complete 40 years of sexual deprivation. The most horrible days of my life were my teenagers, one, and the most horrible days of my life were school ages and college ages. There was no girl, no idea of girl. And it would not have been painful. But I saw the boys in cars taking girls together. They have sex. I went to Lahore then. I just make it brief, and I will just tell you, possibly, sorry, in the next episode. But I tell you some gestures of Lahore, some brief things. The greatest poet over there was, nobody would have a courage to take his name, Ahmad Nadeem Kasmi, late Ahmad Nadeem Kasmi. He was a great prose writer and poet also. I met many poets. I had a view of Zahoor Ahmad and my audience and everything. I was confident. I met him with due respect. I gave him my odes and poetry. I was very hopeful that he is the president of the Muqaddara language and he is a so renowned poet of the world. He said to me, please come to me tomorrow. went to him. There was a free verse writing poet, Mansoor Ahmad, sitting before the table. I was on the side sofa. The papers were with Mansoor Ahmad, and she said to me, there was a time when people get renowned like Ahmaduddin Kasmi Sahab, but now there are many people. Then I looked at Ahmaduddin Kasmi. He just seemed to be just quite silent. Then I asked her that, please tell me if anything is bad in my old. Yes, she said they're not mature. Then I had a courage to and a necessity to say that after it they will not, it will be no more a poetry. It was the grand poet Mufti Azam, God of Pakistan's poetry. God, I say in a fashion that if someone speaks about him, today even, I was stopped from Daily Times because one of the poets, she's a good poet, great poet, she's a late poetess, Parveen Shakar. I forgot to mention her in my essay about the poet, po- lady poets of resistance. And she was not a poet of resistance, I did not mention her. I mentioned many Indian and Pakistani poets like Fahmida Mirza, but they stopped publishing my articles about it. This is a monopoly. Now I went to the chairman of the Pakistan movies, Yusuf Khan. I wrote some brilliant movies. One of the movies, Hum Badan. I was sitting in his office and he just told the introduction of a movie. Who were sitting before me? First camera engineer of Pakistan, Fiaz Hussain. I don't know he's alive or not. He's a great man. He filmed the movie of Mountbatten and Jinnah also. And he made some movies that are, I mean, timeless. He said, boy, please, please, my son, give this movie to me. Now, beside him was sitting Azhar Barki. He was an awarded camera engineer also. They were just surprised at the poetry, my lyrics, my script, my wording. Yusuf Khan, the chairman of Pakistan film industry and a great actor, he was old now. He said, Ali Bhai, please make any movie on jihad. I mean, jihad, you know, fighting for Islam. Sir, I will write for it, but this, he just, I sat in his office. Fiaz Hussain and Azhar Barki went out. After 40 minutes, when I went out of the office, they were in my wait. But my social intelligence is so big that I should talk to them privately. It destroyed my life. If my movie it is 15 years ago, he is dead now, Yusuf Khan. And I should have been dead, I think. But he destroyed me. It was Ahmaduddin Kasmi, it is Yusuf Khan. But they were good persons also. The film star Muhammad Ali tried to promote me. Munuba tried to promote me. Sawar Nadeem tried to promote me. Shamimara tried to promote me. But here another problem. I belong to Saraiki area. The Saraiki people over there are always trying to destroy you. This is a destroyed nation. So I have to go to Lahore. I cross 500 kilometers. I live in a home. I find a home there. I could not stay over there. Then came the plays, the things, and there was womanization over there. There was recommendation over there. There were connections over there. Then came news channels. I went to Aaj News Channel. Then came the newspaper Dawn. And almost all the newspaper. I was published there. But why am now more published over there? What happened to me in Aaj? Look, I am Pakistan. My second name is Ali Arif. My first name is Pakistan. If you want to know how a land with so much natural resources and intellect is in such a dilapidated condition, and why the people are leaving this country, and what happened to it. There was a grand show from India on the Times Square. There was a song from Mughal Azam, Pyar Kya To Darna Kya, but these were written by Shakil Badayuni. So once Pakistani film industry was also booming, but it died down due to the fundamentalist approaches, due to and opposite to them, due to sexual scandals. They do more sex than the other nation, but they do it like a crime, hiding themselves, and all the today is a big brothel house. So if I take in the name of Ahmaduddin Qasmi, let me take the name of Usman Pirzada of Rafi Pir Theatre, who is playing the song 75 years old plays of his great father. He was great, Rafi Pir, but who is not an artist. He also destroyed my life. He just made me write complete scripts of movies and plays, and he didn't play them. They are busy doing something which I should not mention, I think. And Savera Nadeem was a kind woman. Being an artist, I'm not that much socially, just polite. There might have been some. Munobhai was a great person. But as a whole, today, if you go to this was very old when they were great persons. Muhammad Ali has gone. He's dead. He was a great person. Munobhai has died. And Savera Nadeem has shifted to Karachi and could not meet him again. But the thing is that how they are treating, we are without any language. And they tout the 1973 constitution, and he said that finish this constitution. In it, it was written that within almost 10 or 15 days make Urdu the language, official language. It has not been done. Many Muslim sections were allowed to be non-Muslim. Many, things happened during since 1973 Constitution. Its very preamble says everything will be done according to H capital, His will. Who is this His? They want to point to God, but they are pointing to themselves. They are gods. Their sect is God. So during this talk, I hold the cell phone in my hand, and my cell phone moves and my face looks strange. I'm sorry if I'm looking bad, but I have nothing, no camera. But this is the plight. Now if we come to the present plight after the demise of Imran Khan and the strange buffoons. Imran Khan was also brought by the army. I wrote about him. Socially, he's a superstar. He is a great thing in showmanship, but he is no angel. Army brought him, and when he was in power for more than 3 almost 4 years, his government was called, and rightly called, the hybrid government. It was not the civil government. It was not the people's government. It was the government of the Imran Khan and army. So, when I saw the El Salvador, I thought that it's good not to speak against army, because there are many countries which are in far, far, far worse plight than us. The army should remain intact. But I will request the army, because they just call the shots, that they should think about the country. Yes. I'm sorry if I just said something, but in my conversation, you can just see sex. It was a pain. It has been pain. It is pain at the moment, even in my heart, in my body. You cannot fathom how how painful it is to sleep on the bed or sit alone with an erected penis, there's no way. Otherwise, they kill you. And in the meantime, while you see the world and see the people around, they are just doing ritual religion with, I mean, it is the peak of hypocrisy. So, I think that if they say that our army is strong, I admit strong. If they say that army calls the shots, okay. If they say that army is ruling the country since 75 years, okay. I honestly will accept a true ruler if any army man comes and runs the country honestly, if they run the country in a fashion that it becomes a true country, a prosperous country, army is better. If civilians can do, civilians are better. I'm not no way of government, presidential system, parliamentary system, military dictatorship, everything is accepted. Most welcome. Run the country honestly, run the country successfully, free us to just, free us to express our emotional capabilities. You are welcome. Whether you are an army general, whether you are a politician, no foreigner, no foreigner, Pakistani. You are welcome. But don't destroy the person like me. Last but not least, the true lesson. I'm sitting here almost after 40 years of torture. Look into my eyes. I have dreams. Look into my eyes, I want to do. Look into my eyes, I will do. Here, living in Pakistan, or whether I briefly go outside, I have not lost my hope in Pakistan, more than it in me. So learn from it, please, my friends, that there's no end to hope. These years could not do anything. I had many physical accidents. My car was just sold in trash. There were injuries on my face. There were just years I spent in room when I was going to die. But today, when I'm more than 40 years old, I have more stronger dreams. I want to go far ahead than I thought in my early childhood. I didn't lose my dreams. You should also fight, wherever you are, in any tyranny, in any democracy, so-called democracy, never lose your dreams. And this is the person. I'm not appreciating myself. I'm telling about myself. Sex tortured me. Sexual frustration tortured me. Just political system tortured me, class system tortured me, lingual confusion tortured me, and more than this all, the favoritism all around Pakistan tortured me. I'm in now more than 40. I was in the early 20s when I went to Lahore. But today I'm more hopeful. I'll fight for it. I love you, my friends. You are watching me, and we are together. I'm sorry I forgot. I will just take the names of all my friends. I took Mahendra Banga Sahab and Chanchal Gudia and many foreign friends who were just wonderful, amazing. Sharon Mathur and Habib Sahab. The light is back. This this is going on over here. The AC is also working again. Now Many of my friends, many of the girls I like, many of the men I like, I will. I think that I will just speak about them, what I think about them. And an interesting thing that I want to share with you. Sometimes I go to some pages. They're very beautiful personalities, girls. Their post is lying there for 3 months. There's not a single comment. They're alone. Never go after the look. Help everyone. You can help, even if you are penniless, with a brief comment, with a smile. Really thank you. Love you. This time. This time.